Welcome back to the Easy Button Investor Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Cole Rue Johnson, and today is a solo show. My co-host Tucker Mary, who's not with me today, and today we're diving into 5 things that I wish I knew starting out my real estate journey almost a decade ago that would have amplified, accelerated my results, my progress. And if you guys don't know the backstory, I started HelloPad in 2018. HelloPad was my first parlay into the real estate world. It was focused on wholesaling. We did 1 or 2 partner flips where we just found the deal and then kind of just rode along and got a check at the end from the guy that actually operated the project. Went on to do a couple hundred deals and built a great team. Had multiple business partners kind of come and go from that business, learned a ton. It was kind of my entrepreneurial playground for a long time. And one of the things that I think is incredibly valuable is being able to look back. And some of my favorite podcasts from people that I look up to are ones where they sit there and they just reflect on things they wish they would have known. The first thing I wish I would have known, you guys, is that partnerships should not be entered into because of loneliness. Do not enter into a partnership because you are lonely or you feel stuck or you're afraid or you're stressed. A partnership should not double your business. If a partnership doubles your business, you add a partner, you add a lot of logistics, you add a lot of complexity, for usually not a lot more profit. If you're going to enter into a partnership, it should be 1, someone you know, like, trust, and respect, and 2, someone that meets deficiencies that you have. So if you're not an incredibly outgoing, extroverted salesperson, they might be amazing at that. If you're not incredibly technologically savvy, they might be focusing on your operations. So find someone that solves a deficiency for you, and also someone that will apply a 3-to-1 growth ratio, meaning if you bring this person on, it won't just double your business, it'll triple your business. So then you triple your profit and you actually make more money for the reality of a partnership. And you guys, partnerships don't typically last in the real estate business very long. And not only that, a lot of you guys try to get 3 or 4 partners together. It should never be more than 2. There's not enough profit to go around in a real estate business beyond 2 partners, and usually much less than that. So that is the reality of real estate partnership and what you guys need to be focusing on as you continue to grow. And maybe think about, you're going through a valley of despair, you're going through a dark time in your company. That's not the time to grab a partner. Okay. So number 1, in this kind of shorter episode today, is do not just partner to partner. A partner should be a force multiplier of 3 times or more. Do not partner because you're lonely and don't know what to solve and you're stressed in your business. Okay. The second thing, beyond partnerships, that when really starting to grow HelloPad, that I found out the hard way, is that, not the hard way, but something I wish I knew right away, is that verbal agreements should absolutely be considered by you as written contracts. And I'll give you an example. About a year ago, I got a call from a very well-known investor with a very big influence, a very big brand in Washington. And one of the people that had come through my program and used our cold calling, they'd used our services, they got a deal and they went to a meetup. And as they were leaving that meetup, someone approached them in the parking lot and said, "Hey, I overheard you talking about this new deal in Tacoma. That's one of my favorite neighborhoods to buy, and I'll pay you XYZ." And they said, done deal. And then they went on to leave and get in their car and drive home. And another buyer called them and said, "Hey, I'll pay you XYZ, a higher number." And they went with that higher number, even though they'd just given someone their word. And that guy had a big influence, a big brand. He was ready to do whatever it took to let the world know this person did not do business the right way, not ethically. And there's a lot of stories of that. And it takes years and years and years to build your reputation, but it does not take very long to ruin your reputation. And I've seen so many people come and go, even people who built big brands. They eventually come and go no matter how big a brand they built, because they're unethically doing things behind the scenes, and that eventually catches up with them. And all it takes is one of those to come to light to really harm your reputation. And we see that with the gurus that have jumped from wholesaling to Forex to e-commerce to NFTs and gotten into class actions. We've seen that with some people who are doing e-commerce course sales and selling these pre-made e-commerce stores, go to prison. It doesn't take long to ruin your reputation, but it takes a long time to build it. So your verbal word should be treated as a written agreement, and you need to hold yourself to that line, because that is how really, really, really legit people in this business, that's how they operate, and they'll respect that. So those are the first 2, partnerships, and then understanding that your verbal, what you tell people, should be considered by you as a written contract. So slow down, be careful, and you don't have to give everyone an answer right away. Number three, you guys, is that real estate is a personalization and exclusivity business. What I mean by that is for a majority part of my career, I was email blasting deals. We were doing anything we ever can to get in front of, we were doing everything we could to get in front of as many people as we humanly possibly could. I don't think that is the way to run a real estate business, especially if you're just going to do a couple $1,000,000 per year. And most of you would be very happy with just a couple $1,000,000 per year in real estate revenue and a couple $100,000 or $1,000,000 per year in profit. So do not try to run a mass marketing business. If you are, and what I mean by that is with buyers, if you're wholesaling, work based on exclusivity and personalization, get to know people, build a relationship, get to know them, spend time with them, understand what they want. And then for every $1,000,000 per year you want to do in wholesale revenue, you probably only need 5 to 10 really good buyers in that area. That buy the product you're marketing to. If you're a developer or a flipper, you probably just need 10 to 15 really good relationships with really good wholesalers to find the amount of deals that you want if you don't want to go learn to source deals yourself. So that's number three. We have partnerships as number one. We then had, your word is your bond as number two. And then number three, we had don't be a mass marketing company, focus on relationships and exclusivity. That leaves us with two, you guys, and we still have 5-6 minutes left in the show today. It's a shorter one. It's just me. These things were top of mind as I drove to the office this morning, and I wanted to get them on record and out to you guys. Number four, you guys, and I think this is what a lot of people realize is sourcing deals, finding deals is the unlock to a big real estate operation. If you cannot source and find your own deals, you will always be handicapped. You'll be buying deals for less than you should be. You'll be buying less deals than you want to be. And you just create a lot of havoc for your business that you don't have to. And let me put it this way. Finding your own deals and sourcing your own inventory, it's not a $2,000 problem. It's not a $5,000 problem. It's not a $10,000 problem. Finding and sourcing your own deals and your own inventory is $1 million plus problem. Because let me do the math for you. Let's say you're a flipper and you buy 10 deals per year. And on average, let's say very conservatively, you pay out $20,000 on average in assignment fees. That's $200,000 a year. Let's say you flip for 10 years. And a lot of you guys will probably be doing this much longer. Let's say you flip homes for 10 years. That is $2 million in your money that you gave other people by not solving a problem that you could probably learn to solve for $25,000, $50,000. People write me checks left and right for 25 grand to just help them build this machine. So do not think of this as a $2,000 problem. It is a problem you should invest tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars into, because if you're paying out fees either for on-market deals and you're buying them higher than you should, or you're paying out assignment fees on off-market deals, you are leaving a lot of money on the table in your career. And that's even before you take into account the velocity of money and how money compounds over time. So it's not a small problem, it's a big problem. So number four is learn to source your own deals, learn real estate sales and marketing. And number five, you guys, and I talk about this in damn near every piece of content I put out, and it's so important. I can't preach it enough. And that is the reality, you guys, that you absolutely have to focus. You cannot jump around from wholesaling to flipping to development to Section 8 to Airbnb and expect real success in a real estate business. There are people that vertically integrate, like my buddy James Daynard. They do $50 million a year in real estate revenue, and they have a lending company, a development company, a fix and flip company, a wholesale company, a property management company. They syndication, they do a lot, but they did them one at a time. And they vertically integrated. They wholesaled and flipped for 5 or 10 years. Then they added on, and then they added on. They also have a brokerage. So they added on vertically integrated businesses that all live in an ecosystem that complement each other. It's really just products under the same roof, right? So if you've been wholesaling for 2 years and you're struggling, your solution's not going to be jumping to flipping. Same for development. Yeah, you might make a little bit more money, but no matter what opportunity you choose, you are going to hit the same ceiling eventually. You are going to hit the same ceiling no matter which opportunity you choose. So you might as well do the hard work and solve that thing now. And that's the reason I put that last, because that's been so true in my life. Anytime that I hit a ceiling and jump to a new opportunity, yeah, I might make a little more in that opportunity, but I eventually hit the same issue. That could be hiring, that could be team building, that could be retention, that could be just understanding how to build culture in a business, that could be managing your finances properly. Whatever your constraint is, focus on that constraint rather than a new opportunity. That is number 5. So today, you guys, we talked about 5 core components that I wish I would have really digested in the first few years of my career. And that is the understanding that partnership should be a force multiplier of 3 times plus. Do not enter into a partnership because you're lonely, scared, depressed, bored, anxious. Number 2 is that your word is your bond, and you should treat verbal agreements like written contracts. Number 3 is learn how to source your own freaking real estate deals. Number 3 is Do not email block. Do not mass market if you don't have to. Real estate's a personalization and exclusivity game. Number 4 is learn how to do sales and marketing and source your own real estate deals. And number 5 is freaking focus, you guys. Just freaking focus. So that was another shorter episode of the Easy Button Investor Show with just me, one of your hosts, Cole Johnson today. Tucker was not with me for this show. If you did stick around, I appreciate it. These shorter shows I do love doing. The longer shows I think are very insightful as well. We dive deeper into topics, but these short shows I can pack a lot into a short car ride for you guys or a run on the treadmill, whatever it may be. So I hope you learned something, could take something away from the last 12 minutes or so today. As always, review, like wherever you listen to this means the world. That we only grow through organic growth. We don't grow through anywhere else. And then below this video, guys, if you want to join our free school community with now about 500 plus active investors and agents around the country, you can do that right below. Until next time, you're only one deal away.